To the headlines now. Today in the Delphi murders trial, jurors heard Richard Allen's jailhouse phone calls to his family. Allen is charged in the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German back in February of 2017.
Senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel heard these recordings while they were played in the courtroom, and he explains what they revealed.
The jury heard more powerful evidence against Richard Allen today. They heard Richard Allen confess to the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in his own words. The state called Brian Harshman to testify as their 40th witness. He's a state police officer who has monitored all 700 of Richard Allen's jail phone calls since he's been arrested. He and the prosecutor narrowed down those calls to 7 to Allen's wife and mother that they want the jury to hear. And this morning, they played those recorded calls so jurors could hear Allen's own words. In one call, Richard Allen told his wife, "I did it. I killed Abby and Libby." Kathy responded, "No, you didn't." Richard said, "I did." "No, you didn't." "Yes, I did." Later, she says again, "No, you didn't. Why would you say that?" Richard said, "What if I did? I think I did." Kathy tells her husband, "They're screwing with you. They're messing with your mind." Richard says, "I think I did." "No, you didn't. Why would you say that?" And Richard said again, "Because I think I did." During the calls, he remained very calm and matter of fact. Harshman described his demeanor during the calls as calm, subdued, and solemn. And when Prosecutor Nick McLeland asked Harshman if he recognized the voice of the bridge guy on the now famous Down the Hill video that Libby German captured on her cell phone just before the murders, Harshman said he did. He looked right at the defendant and said, "It's the voice of Richard Allen." Now, the day started with a serious objection by the defense team, telling the judge the prosecutor is essentially cherry-picking phone calls that don't give the whole picture, giving the jury an impression of the confessions that's taken out of context. They asked the judge to require the prosecutor to play another phone call that happened on the same day as some of the confessions, in which Allen says he's innocent and is losing his mind. The judge denied that request. Coming up at 5, I'll tell you how the defense team defied the judge and tried to get in evidence that she said was out of bounds. In Delphi, I'm Bob Siegel, 13 News.
All right, Bob, thanks. We'll see you again at 5. And every Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock, we have a complete breakdown of what happened in court that day in our Delphi debrief. So you can watch that on our WTHR Plus streaming app. It's a free download on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku.